Hello everyone, welcome to the orientation session for HP UFT. So team, primarily what we're going to do is have a very quick discussion on what is HP UFT / the earlier version QTP, its current market position, what we will do as part of the training, and how you can take benefit from it. Very simple agenda, nothing complex at all. It's a very focus on giving you a good idea of the application and what it does. So most of you might be aware as to what the tool is. It is one of the world's most popular functional test automation tool. It started with Mercury company as Mercury Winrunner, and then it was bought by HP and they changed it to HP Quick Test Professional or QTP. HP then renamed it to UFT. As of today, about maybe 10-15 days back, MicroFocus has taken over the HP enterprise tools. So now when you go and search for HP UFT, you will see it being under MicroFocus and not under HP anymore. And I'll show you how you can work with the download and work with the demo version as well. But despite the fact about its merger, acquisitions, and the entire roadmap, it is still a great competitor to other popular tools like Selenium Webdriver, maybe RobotFramework, Cucumber, any other BDD, behavior driven development tools, or also acceptance test driven development tools. Our product AnyAuth also comes in the same kind of a range of what it does. So when it comes to functional test automation, UFT, HP UFT does a lot of, or has a lot of capability and features. So what it implies is that it comes inbuilt with a IDE, what we also call as an integrated development environment. It gives you the scripting ability through VBScript as a backend programming language. It lets users record and run tests. It also has reusable components to work with, like actions, Datatable, then recovery scenarios, object repository, and so on. Now, what it also has, which is kind of one of the disadvantage for the tool, is the license cost is very high, and that puts users at high budget if they need to acquire this tool. The reason they are very popular in the market is as part of overall HP product suite, they already have mid to large sized clients. So it becomes easier to sell to that existing market. And in fact, I was at the Selenium conference as one of the sponsors in April of this year. during which we did the NEOT beta version launch, and we saw HP also coming very aggressively. One of the things that they came up with is called as HP UFT Lean. So if you Google and go to the link that HP has for Lean FT, it will show you the kind of tools it's got. So there's a regular version which is downloadable, which I just did in the fresh machine. It's got a 60 days trial. I'll talk about that. UFT is more towards, what is it? I was just checking this. Lean FT, there you go. So if you notice, it's all going to MicroFocus now. So what this does is it gives a little different flavor to the entire automation testing. They've included parallel testing. They've kind of put Selenium support through it to the back end, and they've also done some IDE integration. So they are embracing what it was not doing earlier in terms of its features and getting it more robust to also be able to be done through other programming languages. A lot of specific features that they've developed in it, and what we plan to do as part of this training is a document here. Yes, so we'll talk about the current market position, but we will cover HP UFT, we'll cover BB scripting, we will talk about automation frameworks, and we'll look into how you put everything into a live project activity. We will also take a quick walkthrough of Lean FT, which is the newer product version into the market. Though it is part of MicroFocus, it's still the same name, still the same branding that they're going into the market with. Now, for us to work with HP UFT, we again can do a quick search. And let's go directly to this website. I'm already signed in. So once you actually I'm not signed in, but I've registered, you can click on the free trial, sign up here, and then you can download the file. If you notice, I've already downloaded. It is a almost a 4 GB file, so it's a large one. You can then install it on your local Windows machine. Once that is ready and we launch the program, we can start to explore its features and what it does. This is what we will cover from day one of our training. We will also look into installation of the trial version. Nothing complex about it. It's a very simple approach that we can work with on it. So current market position is a very tough thing to qualify for it, because if you look at Selenium, it's one of the biggest competitors. Selenium does a lot or gets accepted a lot at a startup level, mid-sized companies, and automation test labs that want to work with open source. With Selenium, the big thing is it has a very in-depth coding that is essential to make the scripts work. So it is always important when we hire, we just don't talk about Selenium testers, talk to them or refer to them as Selenium developers, who need to understand what to code, how to code, and how we approach it. The best way to compare is to do a job trend search with Indeed. So if we go to Indeed job trends, and choose your location, be it in US, Australia, India, wherever you placed, and look at how the job market is. So we're talking about HP UFT compared with Selenium, and click on Find Trends. The one disadvantage with UFT as a word is the fact that it's also referred even today sometimes as QTP. So if I say QTP as a word and then compare these three, you will notice that the green one is QTP, HP UFT is blue. The rename happened sometime 2015 and so on. Since then, there's been a steady kind of a decline of QTP. UFT has maintained there, it has still got a decent market there. Of course, Selenium does have more because there are more people who have accepted that into the market. You can continue to compare it with, let's say, Cucumber for more. How are they placed together and so on. When you talk about jobs itself, and let's say right now in Hyderabad, but I talk about HP UFT in, it's fine, we'll search in India. Hyderabad, you'll notice there are certain number of jobs. The same thing, if I change it to Selenium, maybe there are more jobs. It's almost 10 times of it. So if I compare it with HP QTP, 14. So it's got its own market. It is not as popular as Selenium, totally agreed. The advantage that we will have is once we learn one automation tool, adding another one to our skill set is not a big challenge, because fundamentally they work in the same way. You can easily get the common concepts by learning HP UFT or Selenium, and then putting the other one is not tough. So if you go only as a Selenium developer or HP UFT developer versus having both on your resume, there is definitely a significant amount of advantage. The other big benefit, like I said, more standard companies still use HP UFT along with HP ALM. HP ALM is Application Lifecycle Management. It was called Quality Center earlier, and this has a huge market. A lot of organizations use this. So once they're an HP user, they tend to continue to be there. For them to migrate out of HP and develop something totally new in Selenium is a big effort. And it has got its own market. And the future of this tool is pretty bright. Now, this is very important to me. Selenium came about a decade back, and for the last 5-6 years is when it has really taken off. Now, there are a lot of competition that are coming out for Selenium. What HP UFT doing is they are evolving their software. They are moving from desktop based IDE to more cloud based execution through Lean FT. And if Lean FT gets popularity in the market, and then you go about this road of getting to learn towards Lean FT, then it's a pretty good one to carry on your resume into the market. So we have a schedule for day 1, day 2, everything has been put for you. Today's session more to give you a quick overview of the tool itself, what it does, what kind of market it has, and then take any questions that you have to. So at this stage, I'll be open for any questions that you have, and then we can see each other in day one. Questions, anyone? You can also raise your hand if you want me to unmute you. I think so. A few questions. So there's one question from Hitesh asking if it works on Mac. I haven't personally tried it yet, but then from version 12 onwards, HP UFT 12 is support is there for Mac installation to work to run on a Safari browser. So if you have a Mac, you should just do a quick Google on that, find the right DMG file, download and install and try. Our next question is, are you going to share the recordings? Yes. Free sessions on YouTube, paid sessions will be through the itlean.com membership portal. A person who have no coding knowledge, can do master in UFT? Totally yes. The concept is very simple. I've been doing this for the last 9 years, and one of the primary challenges that individuals have seen as part of becoming automation testers from manual testers is coding, and they tend to shy away or be very demotivated to learn coding. But the way I have kind of presented, structured it, and do lots of hands-on training proves that yes, anyone without a programming background can still learn. Someone who has a coding knowledge may take 4 weeks. Someone with coding language knowledge, I'm saying 4 weeks. Without, may take you 6 to 7 weeks. A little bit more effort, a little bit more practice. That is what is needed. How many sessions of HP UFT QTP are we planning? We're looking at about 15 to 18 sessions in total, I think, including the orientation session. So a minimum of 15 sessions will be required because we need to cover a lot of topics in that. Can you please let us know about Tosca? So Indu, Tosca is another test automation tool. It talks a lot about how test cases can be and test data can be generated, how it can integrate with tools like ALM and so on. I have not worked on it myself, so not a great expert to talk about Tosca. Naveen, I didn't understand your question. What is which language is it? Using Python or R language? The question seems to be broken. Can you tell me, please? Without installing into PC in online itself, can we practice? Lean FT, yes. HP UFT, no. Which one is future automation test tool? It's a very competitive market. Even we have come up with Eniot, Orange, the first production version, and we know the competition very well in terms of how aggressive they are and how much have they penetrated the market already. So it's a very different playground right now. There are a lot of tools in the market. Earlier, maybe 7-8 years back, there were only 2 or 3 test automation tools. Now there are at least 10 to 20 that have come out, some open source, some licensed, and so on. We will predicting which tool will take in the market is tough. For example, now Lean FT is really popular. RobotFramework, everyone felt will do very well, but it really didn't grow to that extent of capturing the market yet. Will they all be at this time? The schedule and date, I will let my team kind of put together in an email and share, please, because for me to, I don't want to communicate anything that's not correct. Without installing to PC and online, yeah, that I've answered. Then there's a few more questions, team, I'm going to take, and then we can meet up on for the day one. Timings for the session of UFT, so yeah, I just spoke about it. How many sessions for Selenium? Almost similar, but since we add also Eniot, it will be a little bit more. We have your email addresses, team, so it will be easy for us to send. That should not be an issue. For Those of you who are looking at the latest version, Eniot Orange is the one. This is what you'll need to look at. This is the latest version, team. You can go to private browser. I think this is private browser. No, 1 second. So you can register here and you can play around with the latest version. Once you join in and then log in, you would come to this kind of a dashboard. We've revamped a lot of things. We've done a lot of defect fixing as well. This I'm just showing for those of you who are working on it right now or looking to execute any tests using Selenium. We'll have a separate session altogether on Eniot where I'll guide you on what we're doing there. What is Eniot? Good question. Eniot is primarily a tool which does test management and automation together. 1 second, let me see if I can find a PowerPoint. Yeah, I think these slides will kind of give you a quick overview about what it is. The earlier slides has a lot of other information on the industry and so on. So the way I divide is self-developed and hosted tools used for automation developers. Then there's cloud-based tools that are capable of executing as a SaaS model. What Eniot does is it has a test management platform. So you write manual test cases without any kind of coding. It is also has an Excel to back it up with. It is driven through Selenium Webdriver, Java, and TestNG. It is a backend automation engine. So from test management, executing it in multiple browsers just happens with one click. It does have reusable components that primarily talks about how we get to implement the various popular frameworks. They're all built into the tool. It does provide you dashboards and reports that let users do the entire defect management effectively. Finally, and most important, there is no coding at all involved within Eniot. So the way it works is there's a web UI where you go about creating your test scenarios and test steps and the reusable components. Then it links with the backend Java powered Selenium WebDriver automation engine. I hope I'm recording this, yeah. And then once the execution is done on multiple browsers, you get to see HTML reports at the end. That is what Eniot does, and there's also a comparison of what are the different other popular tools in the market and where does Eniot stand. So it does almost everything that you see that HP UFT does. The one thing it does not do is record in the tests because there's no coding involved as well. So that is the red area for Eniot. The other one is we still don't have a very strong user base and community, which is what we're building. So in brief, what is Eniot? It's a cloud-based human-powered test management tool, and it is also a Selenium framework-powered automation tool. So it does both of them together under one. That's what Eniot is all about. Alright, team, I'm going to take the last few questions and that is it. Coded UI is competitive to the UFT. Maybe. There are a lot of competitive things. Like I'm saying, these tools are evolving every day. Alright, team, that's it for today then. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back in the day one. Take care, everyone. Bye now.